Hello there, my name is Shailendra Senzere. I'm the Managing Director of Promote Balance Corporate Wellness Solutions. I'm very excited to introduce to you here Mollen Mukuze, who is a qualified chartered accountant and registered auditor with here in South Africa. She's also the founder of Brendmo Incorporated, an accounting firm that has its headquarters here in South Africa, but also has established operations in the UK and in Zimbabwe. Welcome, Mollen.
Thank you, Shailendra. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. So what's your clientele base like, Mollen? Who do you deal with in your industry?
Okay, we deal with small to medium enterprises in the space of accounting, yeah.
Small to medium, what does that entail? Who is small to medium enterprises?
Actually, there are thresholds. We look into the employees as well as the revenue categories. Okay. So employee generally less than 100 or less, those enterprises or companies are termed small companies, and 100 to 1,000, they are falling into medium enterprises. When you look at revenue as well, less than 50 million is generally small to medium enterprises.
Oh, wow, that's a big gap.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us would have thought maybe self-employed people are the small businesses.
Yeah, no, those are startups.
Startups,
within the small to medium, they are business on different levels. Some are starting up, some they are 2 years into there, and some are in medium as well.
I see.
So those thresholds generally guide who are called small to medium. So 50 million and below, and the number of employees as well that the organization have.
Oh, great. Thank you, Mollen. Yeah. I'm very excited to host you in the Mental Health Awareness Month. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month to everyone. And my big question that I'm trying to answer is, what are the causes of mental distress in the workplace, particularly for entrepreneurs and for the C-suite or the executives of a company? Because we focus a lot on the employee, but very little is being done in the entrepreneurship level and the C-suite level.
There are a lot, to be honest with you, Shailendra. Imagine as an individual, you have your own load, and now you have the load for the company as well. As an executive, you need to make decisions. You have a lot of stress on your shoulder for the business and for yourself.
Yes.
So I believe that there are a lot of causes of stresses or mental distress that happen within that level as an entrepreneur. So to start with, I just want to categorize that into 3. So one, we have the business KPIs. Secondly, or the performance of the organization as a whole, that brings stress on its own.
Yes, absolutely.
Then we also have the compliance and other unforeseen things that happen within the organization that can cause mental health. So I think let me break it down, the KPI.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah, for the businesses. So, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. So many small to medium enterprises, they don't know the numbers on their fingertips. So we look at revenue. Do you really know what you made last month? Do you really know what you're anticipating to make? So without those key performances indicators on your fingertips, that causes a lot of mental distress.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And you can't even make key decision making for growing the business.
Yeah.
So we look at your top 5 or top 10 expenses for the business. So if you don't have financial, or if you don't know how to interpret for you to be able to determine what are your key top expenses for this organization, you'll be shocked when the supplier is calling, or I need to pay this invoice and I need to do that, because you don't know your numbers in your fingertips. As well as profitability. You see some organizations, some business, they're in operation for 5 months, but when you ask them, how profitable are you? They don't know, because they don't know their profitability. And the killer, cash flow. You don't know what you have in your bank account.
Your cash flow is a big one, Mollen.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't know your liquidity. You're talking about how much are you going to get in the next 30 days. Are you liquid?
Absolutely.
Are you able to sell something within 30 days and get money? So that's liquidity. So those are the key KPIs that each and every business owner or the C-suite of those small to medium enterprises needs to know, so that at least you don't have the mental distress of not knowing those kind of things.
Absolutely.
And you'll be able to make key decision making. The
Wow.
big one as well is the compliance. Compliance is in various aspects. We talk about SARS, the main one, the tax compliance.
Yes.
And you know, if you don't take care of your compliance, you have potential of losing big deals. Imagine
Absolutely,
you were
yeah.
supposed to
Yeah.
get a deal, 500,000 deal, and because you don't have a tax clearance, you can't get it. And you knew that you have the capacity and capability.
You
of
ticked the
delivering.
rest of the boxes.
You tick everything, but only compliance.
Yeah.
One of the other client as well of mine, they didn't have things like UIF registration, and they needed a letter of good standing. Imagine,
Wow.
all of a sudden you don't know that you don't have those, and
Yeah.
you have potential of losing.
Yes.
So the stress that comes on knowing that I had the potential of getting this deal, and I didn't get it because I'm not compliant. Imagine.
Yeah.
So compliance is one of the key things that actually distresses employees, business owners as well. So that's a very key one. And the third one, Shailendra, is unforeseen. Not knowing the unforeseen events that happen within organization. Imagine
Yeah.
losing your key employee to death,
Ooh.
you know, and other unforeseen events that might happen as well,
Yeah.
that will affect the organization. Not being prepared for those things that will eventually happen, you know, causes a lot of
Yeah,
distress.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I must tell you, at least I tick the compliance box, but the KPIs that you spoke about, the revenue, top expenses, profitability and cash flow, I need a lot more learning around those areas, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of the entrepreneurs out there would benefit from more detailed explanations on what we can practically do in our businesses,
Yeah.
and the unforeseen causes as well that you said. As employees, we always say when an employee dies, they are quick to replace you, and yet it's not always like that, clearly, from
Yeah.
what you have explained.
Yes.
But what can we do, Mollen, to know more, especially about these KPIs and the compliance issues that you spoke about now?
Okay, so for smaller to medium enterprises, you know, business that are still growing, so we look at, you need to invest in professionals, right? People who
Absolutely.
assist you, who navigate. So if you look at an enterprise, look as a small business or as an enterprise that is still growing, you look at the corporate. How do they get prepared for that? They invest in they have boards, they have key people running
yes.
with the relevant skill.
Yes,
But I know the other
specialist
thing-
departments,
Yes,
yes.
specialize in order for them to spread off all those risks that we are talking about that is causing distress. So as a business, one thing that you can do, a favor that a company can do, is to invest in professionals, right? And the professionals can help you interpret your business and help you. So I know small businesses, they want to do everything on their own, but focus on what you know best.
Absolutely.
And invest in professionals that are going to help you sort out your compliance, everything of you know how to interpret your financials, you know where your business is going, and you also know that you are sorted in all compliance. What you just need is to look for business.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
also the professionals can actually assist you to say, are your succession planning in order, right?
yes,
Are
yes.
you investing in the employees to, like, for example, funeral cover, to cover for those unforeseen? When
yeah.
we talk about employee dying, it's not easy to replace. Let's say if your employee die, you know, but if you as an organization, for smaller companies as well, people are expecting something. The family for
Absolutely.
that is expecting, are they going to bury their employee? You know what I mean? So as little as 70 rand, 50 rand can invest in those funeral covers.
That's very
but
affordable.
on your own, you cannot think around that.
Yeah.
And unless you have someone who is assisting you and expecting that area.
Oh wow, great
Yeah.
stuff. Sure, there's a lot to learn here. And what more? Where can we get more of this information
Yes.
from you, Mollen?
Okay. Now we are having series of webinars, and also like the first one is on the 21st of October, where we dig deep into
nice.
helping and assisting smaller to medium enterprises and also the executives of those corporate. How do you analyze and interpret your financials for decision making? Because you
Yes.
can't just analyze and say, yes, I made 100,000, so what?
Yeah.
What are you going to do next? You know, you need to know how are you going to use the numbers and how are you going to interpret for decision making. within. So we're going to have a workshop on the 21st, and also we're going to have a lot of series. For example, we're going into December, and January is coming. Have you done your budgets for the company? Have you done your planning for next year? Where are you going?
Yes.
And we're going to have also workshops that will talk about those.
Wow.
And also we're going to dig deep also into succession planning. Are you doing something within your organization
important.
to make sure that the business continue running? Because I've seen a lot of business failing after the key person die.
Yes, yes.
Or something happened to that, then the business die. A very good idea just died down because of those unexpected events.
Sad.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking. A whole lifetime of working for something and it just dies down. But there you have it, the 21st of October, and going forth, as Mollen is saying, there will be a lot of workshops that she'll be hosting at Brendmo Incorporated. And just to be brief, Mollen, we wouldn't do justice if we also don't talk about the individual. So what is your take on financial wellness in small to medium enterprises? Because this is an area that Promote Balance is actively getting into. But what's your take as a financial guru, if I can say?
So I actually I think that, financial wellness is not something that was taught even in schools, or that is being taught in school. So you will find out that maybe 50% of your employees are actually not financially stable, and you're expecting those people to be well engaged within the workplace. So I believe that the organization needs to do much to empower the employees as well. So you see that they are indebted. Imagine the employees receiving SMEs from the people that they owe, Edgars and all those kind of things, and yet you need your work to be done. And how do you expect someone to concentrate on that area? So I believe financial wellness is something that still needs to be to be taught from school. In organizations as well.
So from a proactive space rather than reactive.
So I believe that there's a lot of wellness that is needed in that area.
Looks like you and Brendmo Incorporated have a lot to offer with regards to financial wellness of both entrepreneurs and individual employees. But thank you, Mollen, for having us. You share every month, and we look forward to hearing more and more of these in the newsletters and in the workshops that are coming. All right, thank you for watching.
Thank you.